These old bones still have some fight left in them. How is my son? Behaving sensibly, I hope.
Today we're talking about Ross's father-son's dad, Garcia. The early game Axe Fighter from Sacred Stones makes his debut as a Grand Hero battle unit for some reason. You would think this would be like Morva, but maybe they're saving that for a certain other type of banner. Now Garcia is an Axe Infantry with 50 HP, 49 attack, 41 speed, 44 defense, and 20 res. He has an attack super boon and isn't terribly slow, but also not super fast. Garcia will have high HP and decent defense, but all this comes at the cost of resistance. Probably don't want to let the guy fight a mage. For his inheritable weapon, Garcia has the Hexblade Axe Plus. At start of turn, if unit is within 2 spaces of an ally, grant the Not Slowed by Terrain status and the Hexblade status for 1 turn. If unit initiates combat or is near an ally, grant +5 stats and deal true damage equal to 10% attack. I mentioned this while talking about friends on the banner, but with the loss of Tempest Trials units, it's not looking good for the future of free-to-play accessible inheritable weapons. It does not seem like the Grand Hero battle units are going to get new weapon effects. Hexblade Axe itself is new, but the effect is 2 years old from the Nabata banner. Hexblade's adaptive damage and being able to walk through trees is alright, but +5 stats and 10% attack for true damage isn't anything crazy nowadays. It's okay, but not really my first choice if we're looking for a new inheritable axe. For the rest of Garcia's base kit, it's at least a little more interesting. He has Ignis for his decent base defense, and Garcia is another source of attack and defense finish 3. This is also on Jeddah and Summer Vague, but Garcia has it available at 4 stars. It's a decent budget ace go for bonus attack and defense and 5 true damage if you ready your special. Now I'm not sure it's the first time it's happened, but it's definitely been a long time if it has. Garcia's B skill is attack and defense tempo 3. We've never had this tempo variant at all before. This skill inflicts -3 attack and defense on the foe. It neutralizes special cooldown charge plus X effects on the foe, and special cooldown charge -X effects on the unit. In other words, Tempo has no extra special charging, which disables Blade and Bread type cooldown effects. A lot of builds rely on these effects to charge the new 4 to 5 cooldown special nukes. You definitely can slow a unit down with defensive tempo. As for the offensive tempo part of the skill, I just call this no guard because it disables guard effects. With no guard, you guaranteed to get -1 cooldown every action. Consistent special charging is great for brave attacks or potent hits, and eventually a unit will just charge the special unless the enemy has some kind of uncharging effect like Scowl. Now attack and defense tempo 3 isn't anything super special, but it's odd to see a heroic rail unit get a brand new skill variant. Maybe we'll get a different updated tier 4 tempo skill line at some point, or maybe they'll just finally start throwing out unused skill variants instead of the same old stuff. If you plan to merge Garcia, the neutral nature will grant +1 HP, attack, and defense. That's perfectly fine to keep, or you can get 3 more attack via the super boom. Garcia's not super slow, so speed builds with a speed boom are an option if you want. There are many heroic rail Axe Infantry units from slow to fast. Garcia is in that middling tier of speed with other warrior/berserker types like Banette or Hans. Now if you want a full offensive unit with good defense, then Ninja Male Shez is fantastic. He puts all his extra HP into speed basically. On the other side, Summer Dedu is still our min-maxed low speed tank, fun stat spread for a more tanky playstyle. With Dragonflyers, Garcia has the highest defense out of the low 40s speed Axe Fighters. If you don't care about magical damage, then Garcia can do just fine. This month, Gonzalez got his Refine, pretty simple hybrid support weapon, and his stats aren't that far behind. Last year, Dagdar was our slower Axe Fighter with good attack and defense. He is 5 speed slower, but more defensively balanced than Garcia if you want to tank magic. There are many other heroic rail Axe Fighters to choose from if you don't mind the bindling speed, Young Boyd, Linus, Brigand Boss, etc. There are no shortage of Axe Infantry heroic rail options. When it comes to demotes, our 2 latest units are Boyd and Caspar. These 2 are slightly faster than Garcia, with Caspar being the more general balanced type. Now compared to his dad, Ross has less offensive stats but more HP and res. Atlas is pretty similar to Garcia and is a trainee. Garcia will have more attack and defense, but Atlas has 11 more res to work with. As for Balthus, he also just got his Refine this month. Balthus is a good bit slower than the others, but his defensive stats aren't bad. If you wanted a Brave Axe user, then Balthus' Grappler's Axe does okay for himself. Overall, Garcia isn't super unique, but he does focus on physical matchups and tries to ignore magical ones. His HP and attack are great with decent defense and workable speed. With Garcia's base kit, you can add Heavy Blade or Steady Breath seals to charge up a special with tempo. Times Pulse can also be an option. Defensively, you can also slot in Guard to slow enemy specials. Now to utilize the not slowed by terrain status, you can use auto even tempest for 3 movement. You can also get 3 movement in a line with assault troop, but that's warp movement, which already ignores terrain. Now as for finish, it's a solid A skill to keep, and you can double up with a steel version. For more true damage, you can even use Spurn or Wrath. Spurn can also be used for speed focused builds. Garcia is not blazing fast, but for the budget setups, you can definitely utilize dodge against these slower tanks for damage reduction. Besides no follow-up for follow-up manipulation, Garcia can also use a Breaker B skill. For another stat booster, Prime 3 skills will activate thanks to Hexblade Axe's 2 statuses. If you did want an initiation focused build with extra movement, then Finish might not activate if you move away from the team. For premium builds, we can make a similar initiation setup with the Tempest C skills or Tumultuous Echo. There are many ways to keep tempo, like with the new Warriors or Duelist Blow A skills, Tempo Sacred Seal / Echo, and then the Tropical Conch Axe. If you're not focusing on speed, Garcia can also get a follow-up from skills like Slide Skills, Momentum, or Wind Tribe Club. These are player phase skills though. Now to trigger the better specials like Boulder or Flame Wall, you can use Momentum, Execution Breath, Times Pulse, or perhaps Infantry Pulse since Garcia has IHP. The idea would be to charge either of these specials before the foe hits back, so you get their 40% DR effects. Garcia can then proc the special on his follow-up. For Arcane Giant Axe with its extra stats, Garcia can attempt a speed build, Duelist Blow for flat DR and tempo, Pair Up for true damage, flat DR, and +10 to the speed rule. Last, Faith can give that extra bit of cooldown plus self buffs to trigger the 5 cooldown Arch Rival or Comet specials. Ideally, Garcia would like no follow-up, but this setup can also be the basis for a distant counter Generalist build. If you have Tumultuous Echo, then it can also let Garcia initiate with 3 movement. Now if you don't want to fully invest in speed, Garcia can also utilize Frozen to keep up with the youngsters. For other inheritable weapons, Ninja Chakrams Plus are so tough to beat. Dual Phase Brave Attacks, +5 stats, 15 true damage, 10 flat DR, and you heal on every attack. It can be used for offense or defense setups, and you can help with cooldown thanks to the extra hit. Besides Wind Tribe Club or Tropical Conch, there's also Melee / Spring Air Axe, Axe's Devotion, and if you summon Gladiator Cullen, then Arena Axe is very nice for a speed focus. Lots of inheritable axes on the table. As for more skills, Finish for A skills plus Potent or low Finish B skills can be fun if you can charge your special. Rejuvenate can give No-C Disrupt for distant counter setups, and Patience can give a guaranteed potent hit. It is a bit reckless, but Patience plus Hardy Bearing allows Garcia to get his follow-up off before the foe's follow-up when you initiate. If he doesn't die to their counterattack, then you can charge up a big Arch Rival or Comet, or just abuse things like Reflex to go for the KO. For more defensive playstyles, you can use Lagu's Friend and the classic Breath of Life 4. You can stack HP with Boost A skills and Squad A Secret Seals. Infantry have so many options for Echo skills. Tumultuous can be used for aggression, distant counter for tanking, Tempo can help manipulate cooldown plus has 50% DR piercing, Slack can give a follow-up, while Low can neutralize field boss. Even the older guard or attack with Echo skills are fine too. So, should you promote Garcia to 5 stars? He does drop resistance for better HP and defense, so try to keep the guy away from mages. Garcia's speed's sort of middling, but since we're sacrificing res so heavily, it's okay, and you can try to invest in speed if you want. Stat support is just so volatile these days that anyone can outspeed each other, plus Frozen can really just turn a matchup on its head. Besides stats, Garcia's skills are okay. I'm not really thrilled about a 2-year-old weapon effect, but there are many other inheritable axes, so not a huge deal. More attack and defense finish sources is fine, and attack and defense tempo 3 is brand new, but tier 4 tempos aren't really a priority these days. Not that there is an attack and defense tempo 4 to upgrade to anyway. I'm not complaining about new skills on a heroic rail unit, but it's not really mind-blowing like say a Blue Sky Sacred Seal. I guess that's sort of the vibe about Garcia as a unit too. Personally, I am excited for Garcia to get into Fae, and I am gonna +10 him, but that's just cause I like him. He's definitely not meta-defining, and he doesn't score the absolute highest like Raphael if that's something you care about. A couple of months ago, we got Ninja Male Shez, who's another Axe unit with just as much attack and defense as Garcia. Shez has 10 less HP, but puts those points into speed. Additionally, Shez dual wields, so kinda hard to beat him in style points too. All in all, Garcia is fine for a typical free Axe Infantry unit. I am feeling a little obligated to update my Ross to celebrate. I was planning to update a bunch of builds after the Sacred Stone's new Heroes banner release, so I guess I gotta go take stock now of what I got to inherit. If you have plans for your Garcia, then let everyone know in the comments. I'll wrap up this video here, so thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.